You were signing up for this.
No, you didn't tell me. Let me get organized here, folks. Hello, Bloomington.
Hello.
The right side of Bloomington. My name is Robert Hall. I'm the leader of the Grassroots Conservatives and the Indiana Conservative Alliance, but the Grassroots Conservatives are based here in Bloomington. Since the governor ordered statewide shutdown began on March 25, 98% of the Indiana China virus deaths and confirmed cases have occurred. In fact, the spread of the virus has accelerated since the shutdown began. Hoosier deaths from the virus were down 80% from the peak in April. 15 weeks of declining deaths. At the peak, 40 Hoosiers were dying per day. Now it's less than 10 deaths per day. The positive test rate is also down 65% from the peak in April. Back then, 20% of the people who were tested were positive. Now it is about 7%. The worst of the epidemic is over. The virus has receded in Indiana and the curve has flattened. But the lockdown orders continue, and they have been in place for 4 months. They've created an environment in which the public riots with property vandalism, looting, and arson could take place. This has put an extra burden on law enforcement and threatened our safety. Lockdowns led to many newly unemployed Hoosiers who don't have the dignity of work, pride of earning a living, and providing for their families. Hoosiers dealing with emotional insecurities and stresses became dependent on drugs and alcohol and clinically depressed. Some took their lives in despair. Thousands of businesses are closed and will never reopen. Lockdowns denied Hoosiers the ability to engage socially, except today. No restaurants or churches were allowed to remain open and function normally. No funerals and no routine medical procedures were allowed. As a result, people were a tinderbox, waiting for a lit match to be dropped. Others flooded the streets to riot because bottled up rage and frustration takes many forms. The riots were predictable. Our governor and mayor launched us on a downward spiral to anarchy, resulting in a loss of respect for the law. The cost has been staggering. Lockdowns were not necessary. States that never locked down at all turned out no worse than states that had mandatory quarantines. States that were quick to reopen did not see explosions of China virus deaths. The China virus turned out to be a dangerous disease, but a manageable disease like so many others. Far more dangerous were the lockdowns themselves. The message is, we were played. Corrupt politicians like our governor and mayor scared us into giving up control over our basic questions in our lives. They used a public health emergency to subvert democracy. They did not have the legal authority to do what is done. They are lying about the China virus and the response to it. The ridiculous mandate on wearing masks is a good example. Wearing masks can be harmful to your health, causing oxygen deficiency and toxic carbon dioxide in your bloodstream. Masks are ineffective at filtering out the China virus because it is too small. Masks put a body under stress and shut down the immune system. There's no scientific evidence that masks are effective at reducing the risk of the China virus. Masks create a menacing appearance, discriminate against the hearing impaired, and violate OSHA regulations. They obscure facial features, impede social interaction, and create division. It's time to restore our rights and our way of life, or we will continue to spiral downward, giving up more and more of both our liberty and our security. It's time to stop the shutdown of the economy now and return to normalcy. And most of all, support full funding of our local law enforcement. I have some yard signs. For freedom, vote Republican. vote Republican. Had enough, vote Republican. Some of you may have seen these signs about 6 years ago. We had them all around Monroe County. I have 1,500 in my garage. I'm looking for people that would like to be distributors and maybe take 50 and hand them out to other people. If you're interested in doing that, come see me before you leave today. Give me your contact information and I will get you some yard signs. Thank you very much.